Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video. And that's right guys, finally at long last, I, along with my dad, aka Little Blue, both of us, we are finally reviewing this one documentary that, obviously it's, at a certain point we would get around to reviewing, and now we finally are, not to mentioning someone very important in this documentary who brought us this documentary, and also, not to mention, this year marks the documentary's anniversary. So with that, and with whom is in the documentary, which we'll get to in a little bit, but yeah, that's right, guys. From 2004, me and my dad, we are finally reviewing the documentary, which being Super Size Me. Yes, this documentary, all about McDonald's and about the food and so on, and for me, because, I knew a little of this documentary, probably maybe a couple years back, I'm pretty sure I have, and, and I knew a little of whom it is that, did this documentary, Morgan Spurlock, the late Morgan Spurlock, and at a certain point, it's like, when me and my dad, when we watched Mac and Me. Now, you remember Mac and Me, of course, because when we were watching that, and after we watched it, coincidentally, because, from this documentary and Mac and Me, both having McDonald's to them, after watching Mac and Me, because we happened to, pull up a trailer of Super Size Me, and it occurred to me, and also when I mentioned it to you, that, one day we'll review this, and also, I'd have to watch it, before doing this review. And by the way, because I even, hours earlier as we do this recording, because I actually gave it a rewatch just in case, but you didn't have to, because you've seen it plenty of times. So, now the time has finally come to do it because of two things, as I just mentioned, and so because of its anniversary, but something else, because maybe we don't need to get right to it just at this very second, but still. But we'll come to, but actually, I didn't finish what I was saying, because overall, I think the documentary is really good. I mean, it's not, probably, not one of those, greatest documentaries that you would see, if you could think of some great ones, but overall, because there's something about this documentary, and definitely, in the early 2000s, and when this documentary came out, especially when it came out in the year 2004, that was a big year for some materials and movies that came out, so, and this being one of them, so, alright, so now we'll come to you, what are the first things you have to say about Super Size Me?
Well, this follows a guy who, for an entire month, Morgan Spurlock, he ate nothing but McDonald's. Yep. Morning, noon, and night. Everything he ate came from McDonald's. And nearly wrecked his health in an entire month. In fact, the statistics on that, which I had looked up, says that at the end of the experiment, eating nothing but McDonald's for an entire month.
And for all of for 26 days, the entire month basically.
Right. He was at that time 32 years old. Yeah. He gained 24.5 pounds. That's a 13% body mass increase. Increased his cholesterol to 230. Yeah. And experienced mood swings, sexual dysfunction, and fat accumulation in his liver. So, I think the bottom line here is, and you and I have talked about this multiple times.
When
too much of one thing is not good. McDonald's is fine on occasion, but to make a steady diet of it, to make a steady diet of any fast food is bad. Yeah, it's just bad. That's all there is to it. And I'm not slamming fast food. Far be it from me to say anything. I'll eat a chicken McNugget here and there.
And one thing about this documentary, after this came out, it killed and ended the supersize of McDonald's.
As well it should have. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It was fun. The supersize that McDonald's had, it was fun while it lasted. So
and it's nothing against McDonald's or fast food at all. It's just, you know what? You just don't have a steady diet of it.
And as you said, occasionally have McDonald's. And, who says that we have to give up and stop having McDonald's altogether? Not necessary. Just be careful, and once in a while have it.
It's called moderation.
Yeah.
All things in moderation.
Yeah.
Most things in moderation. Some things not at all. But
Yeah.
in fast food, things to eat like that, yeah, pizza, that kind of thing, moderation.
Yeah, but also like the first. So when was the first time you heard about this documentary, and your first thoughts on it, and when you did watch it, and just
I heard about it before it. But I heard about it when it came out at the theaters, and I didn't go see it, of course, but I did see it once it came out on streaming, and I was really impressed with it, how it was done. The fact that Morgan Spurlock is a West Virginia native,
exactly,
made it that much more, enticing.
One of us, me and my dad. He's a West Virginian,
and to watch it, and to and to see that, and to see the fact that he tried multiple times he reached out to McDonald's, their corporate headquarters, multiple times, and they wouldn't return his calls.
Even at the end credits, like the aftermath and the whereabouts of people, and because in that documentary, McDonald's never reached back to him.
He was still, they were well hidden.
I were to assume probably they were embarrassed. They just sheltered themselves because of what that documentary had to offer about them. You get my point. So.
Apparently, his documentary changed their way of thinking on things and caused them to, rethink things and to do away with the supersize meal.
Yep.
And I mean, it's ridiculous. You can go into places like 7-Eleven and buy like a 64-ounce soft drink. Can you imagine drinking 64 ounces of Coke if you did that on a daily basis?
They mentioned others, not just
it would
supersized
literally
cups.
kill you.
Yeah. And by the way, because of what happened after this documentary came out, and before reading the description / the story, I'd like to point this out because, well, one thing is, you may notice that me and my dad, because the shirts that we're wearing, I'm wearing Disney, he's wearing Godzilla. I don't have any recollection if McDonald's did anything Godzilla.
No, but I just decided to wear this today.
But the reason I bring this up, and especially because I'm wearing Disney, well, I think for a lot of you guys, all of us should know for a fact that, because there was a really good time when Disney and McDonald's, it was just, it was fantastic when McDonald's and Disney collaborated. And McDonald's, they provided like the Happy Meal toys and advertisements for Disney films. But, I think maybe when this documentary came out, there was a problem between Disney and McDonald's, but it wasn't just that. Like, when Dick Tracy happened in 1990, Disney went all out, really banking this film and convincing McDonald's to do expensive commercials and such. But unfortunately, when Dick Tracy... Not a failure, but still it was a financial success, if I'm correct, and it wasn't received that well by critics, and McDonald's was embarrassed by what they got themselves involved in. And for a while, Disney and McDonald's, they separated. They went their separate ways for quite a while. But eventually they rekindled, and it wasn't up until, I'm pretty sure, in 2004 and when this documentary came out, and another incident that happened with McDonald's themselves. Now, I don't know if you knew this. I was this close to mentioning this to you off camera, but no, because now we've come up to this. The one incident that happened with McDonald's themselves, because there was one customer that had a piece of a chicken nugget that was basically the shape of a chicken head. You're telling me you did not know that?
No, I didn't know that, but I don't think that's... I don't think that's...
So I'm pretty sure... Well, yeah, but because of that, and I'm pretty sure the documentary itself, I'm pretty sure it was the documentary too. McDonald's and Disney, they once again had another problem. So, yeah. I mean, again, because it was a dark time for McDonald's because of what happened over at one McDonald's restaurant with a piece of a chicken nugget, and also this documentary. So... But, yeah, okay. So now, and as always, read the description / the story. I mean, you can take it. You can take it from here if you want to.
While examining the influence of the fast food industry, Morgan Spurlock personally explores the consequences on his health of a diet of solely McDonald's food for 1 month.
Right. So there's that. And you know what? We'll go ahead and mention this because a little background for us, because, as I explained, we knew that, at some point we would want to review this, and now we are, but one of the last times I brought this up to you, and we were going to be getting close to getting around to reviewing this documentary. Well, because the last time I brought this up to you, and as I'm sure you guys know too, and by the way, our review of Super Size Me is also in dedication because of the late Morgan Spurlock. So, talk about an interesting timing that we're doing this, and because this year marks the documentary's anniversary, we lost Morgan Spurlock. Yep. That's crazy.
I know.
Yes. And he wasn't, and I was kind of wondering at first, like, if the possibility of he might have, but no, he didn't die. Like, this had nothing to do, like, with what happened to him with McDonald's. It was just cancer. That was all. That's all it was.
I do remember when he went to his doctor, his doctor told him that if you
in the documentary.
Yeah, in the documentary, the doctor said, if you continue this, you will die. Because his health had completely gone south. I mean, it was terrible. And he got back down to his regular weight after a time. I saw him interviewed on the Today Show after the documentary came out, when he was promoting it, when it came out in the theaters. And he was saying that his girlfriend at the time, she was a chef.
Yep. And at the time of this documentary, they were boyfriend girlfriend.
And she was very into nutrition and health, so she helped get him back on track with his diet and everything. And he lost all the weight that he gained. But it was I'm sure it was a long road. I mean, it's a long road to hoe, as they say in the South. But it's a known fact that it's much easier to gain weight than it is to lose weight.
Yeah.
And that's just a fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, when we heard about Morgan's death, I mean, it was devastating, wasn't it? Like a shock.
It was a total shock.
And again, because when we were talking about reviewing the documentary, this happened. We were talking about this days before, he passed away. Mm-hmm. That was eerie, right? Because I think that's what you said, or a coincidence, or very eerie. That we were talking about it. Yeah, that we were talking about it. It is one of those things. I'm sure some of you guys have had that happen to you before. There's no doubt about it. So, so again, our review of Super Size Me is in fact in dedication and in memory to Morgan Spurlock. So may he rest in peace.
He was 53 years old.
Yep.
When he passed, and he died of complications from cancer.
And died too young.
Yeah, much too young.
Yep.
Much too young.
Yep. So getting in the documentary itself, because what do you want to start with first?
Well, I mean, it's just that his first meal made him sick. He threw up. I mean, he couldn't. It was a big burger and fries, and it's supersized. And
that happened a little later on in the later days. Because when he did throw up.
Well, I know at one point he was up in the middle of the night with heart palpitations. He was scared to death. His heart was racing, and he was in a bad way.
Uh-huh. And those who are a part of the documentary, because, you can name them off if you want to, so.
Daryl Isaacs, Lisa Kanju, Steven Siegel, Bridget Bennett, Eric Rowley, Mark Fenton, Alexandra Jameson,
and no, not Steven Seagal. Okay, that's a dip. Steven Seagal.
Seagal, yes,
yeah,
that's how it's
so
pronounced.
Not to be confused.
Rick Brune, Evan Margelis, Eve Pine, Paraguay, Brenda Hoover, Dave Nolder.
Yep, and a bunch of people that Morgan, it comes face to face with and interacts with, and their experience, with having McDonald's, even one guy, because he met this, he was dating this woman, and at this one McDonald's restaurant where they first met, that's where he asked to marry him. Because, that restaurant was special to him.
Yeah, sure.
And, that's the thing. Some McDonald's restaurants, like your local restaurants, whichever which, they mean something to a person. So.
Well, listen, I mean, when I was growing up, when I was a kid, I used to watch a local show that was produced on the TV station where I work now in marketing, WSAZ, out of Charleston and Huntington. They had a show called Mr. Cartoon, and it was on for decades. And Mr. Cartoon was was sponsored by McDonald's. And at the beginning of the show, you know, you would see him. It was supposed to be Mr. Cartoon in a race car going to McDonald's. There was no drive-through. Just go to McDonald's. He picked up, you know, a burger, fries, and a shake. And the only McDonald's at that time in this area was in Huntington, West Virginia. Now we've got them at every street corner practically. And
You know,
but
even-
when I was a kid, I wanted to eat at McDonald's so badly.
Yeah, and you know, even the documentary establishes very clearly, because like McDonald's is just basically all around the world. It's at airports. It's like it's combined with other buildings and such, even in hospitals.
Even in gas stations.
Yes, gas stations. Yeah. I don't know why I wasn't thinking of gas stations, because we've been to a gas station, like it's half a gas station, half McDonald's a couple times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and again, like some McDonald's in hospitals, like seriously, they have to throw in McDonald's. Some McDonald's in some hospitals, like that's really just like I don't know. Or there's like I think it was also in the documentary too, like other restaurants combining with McDonald's. I'm pretty sure, but yeah. So, and also because like one big thing that's brought up a lot as well, how, you know, the United States, like being the biggest place where everybody's no hard feelings, fat. So
yeah, obesity.
Fat country.
Obesity we have the highest rate of obesity anywhere in the world.
Yep. And the fact, because there's been some people like, you know, that have tried to sue McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and of course with Morgan Spurlock's journey, like it's like this challenge or something, like, you know, throughout 1 month taking McDonald's.
Well, you know, it's sort of like if people trying to sue McDonald's, it's sort of like the old Latin saying caveat emptor, which translates to let the buyer beware. When you go into McDonald's, when you buy something to eat, you're going to have to know that you're not exactly getting health food.
Yeah.
You're not getting something that's going to, you know, probably the healthiest thing on the menu would be a grilled chicken wrap, if they still serve them, or the grilled chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
I can tell you for a fact, in my opinion, one of the best meals you'll ever have, in my opinion, is a quarter pounder with cheese, chicken McNuggets, fries, and an orange high C drink, or Coke.
Yeah.
That's like the best meal in the world.
Uh-huh.
But you can't eat it all the time. And I haven't had that, what I just said, I haven't had that in years. I used to eat it when I was a freshman in college, you know. I'm 60 years old now. I can't eat that kind of stuff, you know? Not all the time.
Yeah. Also, yeah, like, might as well, like, bring her up now, because, you know, at the time, Morgan's girlfriend. And then later on, they would become husband and wife in 2006.
Yeah,
so.
she as I understand it, she was a chef.
Alexandra Jameson, is that right?
Mm-hmm. She was a vegan chef.
Yeah, she was.
A healthy chef. So she she basically nursed him back to health after he finished this crazy 1 month journey, you know, of McDonald's. And I remember even at the end of the thing, even at the end of the 30 days, he threw a party and he had a birthday cake, you know, at McDonald's, you know, like to celebrate.
Yeah, and that's another thing, because I don't mean to, like, go off on her, but, like, that's another thing, because, like, someone mentioning, like, how, you know, McDonald's, has playgrounds, and also they're very big doing birthday parties.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
But back to what you were saying.
Well, you know, she was a vegan chef, and she had, you know, she helped basically nurse him back to health by getting him back on a steady diet of what he was used to. And I guarantee you, it was not easy for him to make that transition, because carbs and high-fat foods are almost like a drug. And it is a fact that the more you eat of it, and he even brought this out in the documentaries, I recall, the more you eat of it, the more you want, and you don't get full. You don't get satisfied. Your stomach doesn't get satisfied. It's not like eating a healthy meal. If you eat a healthy, well-balanced meal, and by healthy and well-balanced, I mean salad, maybe chicken, you know, something like green beans or something like that, and no bread.
No bread.
And drink water. You know, that is going to satisfy you. It will absolutely satisfy you. You won't, and you can go hours without eating anything else.
Right.
You eat McDonald's, if you eat McDonald's food, or any kind of fast food for that matter, you are going to be hungry in probably just a couple of hours. You're going to want to eat again. And you don't need to eat again, but you want to eat again because it's your body telling you, basically your body's telling you that it's craving good food, but you're not giving it good food.
No.
So it's continually staying hungry.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. And it's a vicious cycle if you can't stop it. And I'm sure he had a hard time making the transition back to healthy food and getting off McDonald's.
Yep, absolutely. And more on Alexandra, because like what you mentioned earlier, because like how what it was like was affecting his body, you know, and parts of his body.
Mm-hmm.
Like what was that you said?
There was, he had his liver. He had fatty liver enzymes. His liver enzymes, the fat in them. And let's see exactly how that's worded.
Yeah, because like the reason I'm asking you about this again, because she establishes one thing, but until you get back to that, so go to that. So there you go. Find where you were. So the tabs.
Well, that's gonna be difficult.
Okay, but while you're doing that, what she established, because again, yeah, like with it affecting his body and parts of his body, like I think like his organs or just something like, his genitals or anything else like that. Yeah, because that's exactly. And yeah, because like with what she said, because when they were like, it's like when they would have sex, he really wouldn't have that much energy, so she would be the one up top and so on. But that's an example, and that's kind of important because, yeah, when it comes to sex, yeah, so, and with what McDonald's did to him, so that's why, because bringing that up again and what you said early on, yeah, so... and more on her because I mean, her having a very important part in this documentary. Like I said, at the time of this documentary, and in 2004, they were boyfriend and girlfriend, and then in 2006, they did get married, and then later on, they had one child, a son, and then, well, unfortunately, in 2011, they got divorced, and, because this was also around the time, that same year, when Morgan Spurlock, came out with a new documentary, which actually was a pretty good one. It was one about, it was something that had to do with Comic-Con, and it was like, it had Star Wars in it, like Comic-Con, A New Hope, or just something. I mean, if I remember to, I'll put a text, the specific name of that documentary. Like I said, it's supposed to be really good. But at least from what I've heard, like, both Morgan and Alexandra, they seem to had gotten along, even after they got divorced and such. That's nice to see. And, I meant to bring this up to you, but now since we're doing our review, because I actually looked this up earlier in the day that, because on her Facebook page, she did post something in memory of her ex-husband, and of course, you can imagine how upset she was about this. I mean, for both her and their son. Yeah, very devastating. And also, because I'm sure you guys know that there was a sequel to Super Size Me, and by that one, because I think Morgan Spurlock's new wife was a part of that, so yeah, but anyways, so anything else you've got to say, like anything else to mention?
No, nothing else really. Those are the things that stick out to me on that, and I was going to go back, and I was just looking this up again. He did have what I was trying to fat accumulation in his liver.
Yeah.
His cholesterol increased. I don't know what it was before.
Yeah, and as I pointed out, because talking about Alexandra when they when they had sex, like, yeah, you get my point. Also, there are others like in the fast food business or something like. I mean, he's in the documentary. There's no way of avoiding mentioning him. Jarrett the Subway. Are you familiar with him?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. At the time of this documentary, but I mean, with what happened with him in the years later, and looking back at this documentary, that's just you don't know what happened with Jarrett the Subway?
Well, I know he lost a lot of weight, and he became the spokesperson for Subway.
Yeah, but there's a part of him that got him into jail, so...
Oh, I know he had some problems with the law. I don't know what it was over, but I do know that there were some issues.
It's disturbing. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
we don't need to go into that.
No, we don't need to. But I mean, I don't. For me, I wouldn't let it bother me. Just seeing him in the documentary. I mean, I forget what was the specific part on him of Subway.
He ate.
I know one thing because like his big pants that he used to wear.
Well, he I don't know how much he lost, but I know he lost a lot of weight.
Oh, he did. He did.
He ate all he ate was 12-inch turkey club, I think, every day from Subway, and that's what he would have, and it was like his only meal of the day. And he lost.
He is. Yeah,
a
Jared,
whole lot of weight.
The Subway spokesman. Yeah, Jared. Fogel or Fogel? Fogel. That sounds about right. Jarrett Fogel. So yeah, he used to be the Subway spokesman, and his appearance in the documentary, well, an important part at the time, and because because Subway food is kind of the same thing, right? Because of McDonald's problematic or
Subway's not really fast food. No, Subway is more. It's healthier.
Well, I mean, Jared, obviously because he ate Subway. I mean, did Subway have to do with? I don't know. Because
look, you can take anything and and twist it. I mean, you could go in Subway and you could get you could eat a 12-inch pizza sub twice a day and start gaining weight and be unhealthy, or you go in there and eat the Italian club that has salami, pastrami, ham, and turkey on it, and put cheese and everything else on it, and mayonnaise, and doctor it up, and then you're going to make it a very unhealthy sandwich.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go in there and you eat a 6-inch turkey or 6-inch ham sandwich, or even roast beef sandwich with a reasonable amount of vegetables on it, and light mayonnaise or something like that, it's fine. It's going to be around 450 calories.
Yep.
And then you can get, if you have to have chips, get baked Lays, get baked chips, something like that. That's low fat, low calorie. Drink diet soda. You get the picture.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
Yeah, and with Morgan getting McDonald's, because he goes to every single different McDonald's restaurants. I'm pretty sure, because
he goes to more than one.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes sense.
So, yeah, and like I said, because at times him encountering and interviewing some people and their experience, with McDonald's, as I said early on, and well, even because again at one point, because he ate a big sandwich, as you pointed out, and he was in the car. The cameraman was there in Alexandra, and then because 35 minutes or so later or something, because he was starting to feel sick to his stomach, and then because him puking out of the car window, and the cameraman had to show it. It's just jeez Louise.
It's like I don't. The whole, I'm not.
I mean, it's really. I mean, overall, it's just really from the hamburger, just the meat or just the bun, that kind of stuff, just gooey. That's all I'm gonna say. Also, at times in this documentary, they pull up art pics. Like The Last Supper or An Addiction. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They pop up at times in this documentary. In fact, whichever which, green screen, or I'll just insert the picture itself in the corners. I'll put one up because there's one that I think is really cool. Where The Last Supper. Of course, you know for a fact, because there have been many different variations of The Last Supper because of Jesus, and I'm sure you've seen some of them, most of them. There's one that's Star Wars themed.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's an example right there. So there's one that they show, well, two of them actually, but this one in particularly that really stuck with me, and I say it's really good because I always love some kind of fan art pics where you just have a bunch of random characters and something, So in this one, because The Last Supper, I think Ronald McDonald's in it. Again, the picture's here somewhere, whether a green screen or whichever which. And there's Sylvester the cat, there's Krusty the Clown. Those are the only two I can really remember. I think E.T. is in there too, but you'll know when you see the picture. But that one, and also because how the documentary also talks about, in fact, some lawyers and such, one of them in particularly talking about, because, it's McDonald's is luring kids or something. Anything to say on that? Because I don't think, very quickly, I don't think it's intentional. It's not like,
No, it's intentional.
Okay.
I guarantee you it's intentional because they want kids.
They're really wanting kids to think that nothing's wrong and just, but
no, they want to get kids to eat their food. They want them to get hooked on it so they'll have next generation of customers. That's how it works, son. That's called capitalism, free enterprise.
We all should know that.
You want new customers. So the only way to grow your customer base is to go after younger people, kids. In this case, McDonald's perfect. So the kids come in and they get the Happy Meal and they're
and there's a playground there, as I said.
Exactly.
And they do birthday parties big time.
You grow up with it. You're gonna continue to eat it, and then you're gonna let your kids eat it.
Yeah, and there's a part of that where it's not that bad. I mean, because
like I said, all things in moderation. McDonald's is not the devil. McDonald's is great food. But you gotta.
It's kind of taking.
Do it in moderation.
It's kind of a little bit of it. A little bit of it's kind of like jumping the shark a little bit, like making them look like they're evil and an evil incorporation. Come on, guys! Like
now, look,
that's taking it too far.
Let's time for a reality check here. I am not comparing McDonald's to. When I say it's great food, I'm not comparing it to say Spago's or Morrison's or Ruth's Chris Steakhouse or something like that. I'm talking about. I mean, that's different. That's in a different category altogether. That's really
McDonald's.
That's excellent food. McDonald's is not excellent food. It's just good fast food. That's all.
Yeah, and I was about to say because it's a fast food restaurant, so it's nothing fancy or anything like what you pointed out.
Yes.
And because like with one of them like saying like because playgrounds, birthday parties, and also, they have colorful characters from Ronald, Grimace, Hamburglar, and even like, maybe you didn't know this, there was a cartoon show for a while of Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, there was in the 90s. So, so there was that. And, well, the biggest thing are the Happy Meal toys. Now, there's nothing too bad about that. Because, the Happy Meal toys have been the best thing that came from McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and, especially because, especially whenever they do advertisement products or something, tie in with upcoming movies. Most notably, of course, Disney. So nothing wrong with that. And besides, the Happy Meal toys usually are really cool. But overall, because kids have to be taught by their parents for sure. That it's okay to have McDonald's, but to their children, they just can't have it all the time.
No.
Yeah, so now I'm pretty sure, you and my mom, you knew that. Well, McDonald's, I wouldn't have McDonald's all the time. When I was little. Right?
Yeah, there's limits. You can't have it all the time. So
everybody.
Any parent is going to limit their child as to how much they can have.
Yeah, it's not just the kids, but people altogether. Just can't have McDonald's all the time.
Right.
Yeah. Also, it's really cool because Morgan Spurlock, he actually had a couple of figures or something of the McDonald's characters. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did notice that.
Anything else to say? What about say the ending? Because I guess things seem to be doing okay for Morgan. I guess.
Yeah, and like I said, he was interviewed on the Today Show, and this was
well, not in the documentary, but still
exactly. This was him on NBC's Today Show, promoting the movie Super Size Me.
And this is postponed what happened in the documentary, so
exactly. So he was back down to his weight, his normal weight.
Right.
His health had turned around because he quit eating McDonald's,
Yep.
on a daily basis, and he may never eat it again,
Well, he never. Well, yeah. Now we lost him, so
yeah.
And also because a little bit later after this documentary came out, it's this documentary that he technically went big time, One thing is, he just about made it big time when, I don't know, you may or may not have know this, that this documentary did get Oscar nominated. But unfortunately it didn't win. But still, being nominated, that documentary being nominated was something.
That's quite an honor.
It's always an honor and something when you're nominated. Yep. And knowing that you've just about made it there. And good for Morgan. Lucky for Morgan to, you know, get there and such. And, you know, later on in his life and doing a couple of other documentaries, like, I mean, did you know any other documentaries that he had done?
No. None that I can think of.
Well, as I mentioned early on, because he did one about Comic-Con, and of course, most notably, there's been a sequel to Super Size Me.
Yes, I know about that.
And he did one, I can't remember the specific name of this, if, you know, I'll probably put a text, but basically this documentary about, like, man hair or something. I don't know. It's hard to describe. But again, like, maybe some of you know it, and again, like, I'll put I did put a text on it, but anyways, so, and like I said, because, you know, as of now, because, you know, we've lost Morgan Spurlock, and, you know, people will remember him best, most notably for this documentary.
Yes.
Yep. And like I said, you know, some of those that have given their condolences to Morgan Spurlock, and as I pointed out early on, and, you know, you heard me say this because, like, you know, his ex-wife, Alexandra, you know, she said something very touching and heartwarming over, you know, her late ex-husband, so... And again, like I said, it was nice that they got along after they divorced and such, and yeah, so... But, yeah, just overall, Super Size Me. What an interesting documentary, a pretty good one from the early 2000s. And again, because, like, when people viewing this documentary, like, just don't get the idea and, you know, the wrong idea and so on, that, you know, McDonald's is evil and so on.
Right.
Because what's important is, and I think technically the documentary probably said something like this, you know, just, and, you know, for anybody like us figuring this out on our own, is to not have McDonald's all the time, just occasionally, very occasionally. Mm-hmm. That's what's important.
All things in moderation.
You don't have to. You know, who says you? Like I said, who says you have to stop having McDonald's and such? No, just, you know, just not all the time. Just occasionally have it. So yeah. Before we get to the ring, like, any final thoughts and results on the documentary?
I was just going to give you my final number on it. I'm going to give it like 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Okay, but still, any words, like, you know, final results and thoughts on this?
No, I think we've covered everything.
Okay, I mean overall, you enjoyed this documentary?
I enjoyed the documentary. It was very interesting, very eye-opening, to say the least.
Absolutely, absolutely. And everything in this documentary, facts, 100% facts on the fast foods and McDonald's.
And he lived it.
He lived it. He lived it like a boss.
For a solid month, yeah.
Like a trooper. That's another way to put it.
Trooper is probably the best way to put it, because he was not a boss doing that.
Well, maybe that's not what I was intentionally.
The end result, he was a boss, because he came out with a really good film, a really good documentary. So
but by going through what he had to go through because of McDonald's, and throughout that documentary for one whole month, did it like a trooper.
Yep.
And he succeeded, you know, pulling through it and surviving. Yep. So, okay, and, you know, now we'll come to rating the documentary. Like, how many? You already did
3.5 out of 5 stars.
Okay, you do that for me, because, well, I mean, what the heck? It's on my mind. I give it 8 out of 10 stars. 8 out of 10 stars for Super Size Me. It's a really good, interesting documentary. And what else did you say about it? Like,
eye-opening.
Eye-opening, thank you, yeah. And that's a fact, too. It is eye-opening. And as I said, like, what the documentary says on McDonald's and fast food and everything, 100% facts. So, yeah. Again, it's a really good documentary from the early 2000s, and from a fellow West Virginian. Yeah, just overall, it was a good documentary. And what about you guys? What did you think of Super Size Me, the documentary itself? And if you guys, and I hope as though that, you know, you thought so, like we have, like, you know, and as we both said, you know, what's in the documentary, not to take it in the wrong way. Just know for a fact that you don't have to stop having McDonald's. Who says that you have to, you know, give up on McDonald's altogether? No, just have it very occasionally and so on. And, like, anything else, like, in the documentary that you found interesting and, you know, there's no doubt about it that you would agree with what the documentary has to say on McDonald's and with the fast food and such. And again, just, be very careful on what you eat at fast foods, not have a lot, and if there's anything else you enjoyed from this documentary. Also, what were some of your, did any of you get to experience having the supersize until, unfortunately, it came to an end thanks to this, and any cool Happy Meal toys? Just let us know overall, what you thought of the documentary itself, what we've had to say about it, and what did you think of our review? Leave comments and give this review video a like, as always. And so, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed our review of Super Size Me. More review videos are on the way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and we'll see you guys in the next video/review. And last words?
I must be off.
He says that. For me, again, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Happy anniversary to Super Size Me. Rest in peace, Morgan Spurlock. Take care, and until Super Size Me 2, peace out.